friends, it's Elizabeth, Finding Elizabeth, and today is Monday, January 15th, 2018, and this is, I think, my week 196 post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I had weight loss surgery on April 14th, 2014. My starting weight was 402 pounds. My lowest weight in this journey was 198 pounds. My weight last week was 227 pounds, and my weight this week is 224 pounds. So that is a move in the positive direction, for which I am decidedly grateful. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to my Amy. It is her 3-year surgiversary today, and yeah, how could it have been 3 years already? I do not even know how that's possible. The time, it is flying, people. I usually, on Martin Luther King weekend, it looks like I usually do some fun things, but not this weekend so much. Nothing too exciting going on. Last year, the Mahonies were here for the Disney Star Wars marathon, and the year before that, Amy and Lorraine and Christine, Teeny Tiny Tummy, and I think that's all, and Amy's sister were here 2 years ago, and 3 years ago this weekend I went to Disneyland with my son for the first time since I'd lost weight, and rode all the roller coasters. But this weekend, not so much. I had a really pleasant day. I took a mental health day on Saturday. I was not feeling it. I stuck to the bed and watched mindless TV on Hulu all of the day. But yesterday was really pleasant. I got back up, I got my groove, I did my walk, I did my meditation. It was a beautiful day here in Southern California yesterday. I sat on the couch and listened to music and read a good book, and then Brian and I watched the Matrix movies, which I had never seen, which I find very surprising. I have never seen those movies because they're, I mean, it's not my kind of movie, but the philosophy behind it is sort of consistent with how I think about things in some ways. But anyway, that's a different topic. So what did I do from a weight loss surgery perspective? So I told you guys, so I'll be honest, I was a total fail for most of the week. I hadn't quite gotten my groove back, but I was aware, and the one thing that kind of stuck out of my mind, you know, my streak that I'm working on, 30-day streak, is really meditation. And I just really have a sense if I do that, everything else is going to fall into place, because it helps me to be much more mindful about my choices and behaviors and action, and that is true. I don't know even that I so much did the, is this going to make me feel good or bad if I eat it thing. I don't know, but that is in the back of my mind. But I got serious over the weekend when the scale, I mean, maybe that's why I was in the slump I was in on Saturday, when the scale got up to 228 pounds, or maybe that was Friday. I don't know, whatever. I didn't like it, and I felt like it wasn't consistent with what I was doing, because even though I was eating some crap, the calories that I was taking in, I was drinking my water, I was walking, I was taking my diuretic, it didn't seem quite right. I had started taking trazodone for sleep, and I had read a couple, I had been looking it up online, because it's a weird drug in some respects, in that it was an antidepressant way back in the day, and then I saw an article about how it could be the wonder drug for Parkinson's and things, but it really didn't help me sleep very much at all. And I looked it up, and there were some reports of weight gain, and so I stopped taking that, and the weight just sort of fell back off. I don't know if it's because of that. I also was much closer to keto, at least maybe the last 2 days. Well, today I'm totally keto, because all I've had is I haven't really had anything other than coffee, but so yeah, that's where my headspace is. I am using an app, I think it's called Focus, where you can set up all these habits that you want and I've set up a lot of things on there, but I'm not, just so I'll be aware of them and I'll think about them and I'll think, is this something I can do today? Because I know it's something that is going to make me feel better. Some days I can, some days I feel like I can't, and that's okay. They have a, like, if it's a good habit and you click yes, you did it, you get a green, and you click no, you did it, you get a red, and the other way around if it's a bad habit and you do it. So like nighttime eating for me, if I click yes, that's a red box. If it's meditate and I do it, it's a yes, it's a green box. But what I've decided to do on the things that I am not seriously tracking, which really the three things that I have trying to be really consistent with are walking, meditating, and weighing. The other things, there's a button that you can just hit skip, because I don't want these blaring red things that say fail, 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 because I'm not really failing. They're just things I want to be aware of and reminded, and if I get them done, that's great, but they're not the thing I'm primarily focused on, so it's just kind of like a habit reminder. Yeah, so that's what's going on with weight. I'm not working out with Brandon this month. Hopefully we'll go back next month, but I'm trying to get it up to go back to the gym. He posted a thing I think I might try to do tonight that he did in his workout, where it was like 100 squats, 100 probably push-ups, 100 curl presses, 100 lunges in place, and 100 sit-ups, and you take however long you need to get the 100 of the thing, but you don't move on to the next thing. That's something I could actually do at home, so I may try that. I'm on my way to my dad's. He's been ill with the flu. It's been like over a week and he's still sick, so I thought I would go up and check on him. So from a weight loss, or from a like vlog, whatever, because I don't really talk too much about weight loss stuff now. It's more about what's going on in my head. The one thing that I want to talk about, and feel free to use this as a weight loss surgery topic of the week. I'm not really gonna make a separate video about it, because it seems like those videos don't get viewed that much and it's just extra work. So I will say here, if you want to do a weight loss surgery topic of the week, do it, put it in the tag, and I will try to get it all on a playlist in YouTube. But here's what I've been thinking about. What are the things in 2017 that I am proud of myself for that don't really have anything to do with weight or my body, or my appearance? So I think it's important to focus on those things. I think we often get so caught up in the things that we're doing wrong that it's important to celebrate our successes and the things that occurred over the last year that you're proud of, or the last week, or the last day, or whatever. I just think it's good to focus on those things. So the things that came to mind for me is last year I got up and up and up and up and up. So every time I fell, I eventually was able to pick myself up. And I think that's just who I am now. I think before I wouldn't do that. I would go into these depressions and I would sit there for a long time, and it would be really hard for me to get back on track. But I didn't have healthy habits then that I was trying to get back to, really. I was just trying to get back to facing the world. But now I have healthy habits to get back to, and I now know that I can fall and get back up, and my muscle memory retains. I know what to do, and I did that pretty consistently last year, and I am very proud of that. I feel like I want to say I opened myself up more. I mentioned this in my video on the things I learned in 2017 about living with other people. I have, have been in the past very much a control freak, and when you let somebody into your life and your space like that, you sort of lose control over multiple things: your image, your home, what's in your refrigerator. You are sharing the good and the bad parts with people. I did that with both Gracie, and I'm doing it now with Brian, and it has really and it wasn't easy for me. I was looking back, on the Facebook memories, the first, I was really nervous about Gracie coming to stay, and she was coming for just a short period, like a month initially, and then things changed, and it ended up being that she was there for about 4 months, and it was absolutely fantastic and wonderful. But I was nervous as hell the days before she was coming, and that first day she got there was like New Year's Eve last year, and we went to the grocery store, and you know, she's used to shopping for 3 kids and a big family, and I'm used to going to the store pretty much every day to buy what I needed because I didn't like to keep a lot of food in the house. And I remember how anxious I was as she filled the cart up with this food, and I was like, oh my god, it's going to be in my house and I'm going to eat it. And sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't, and it was all okay. And I got so much from that. I love that. I really loved and valued that time with Gracie, and it just opened me up on a different level. The other thing that I am proud for in 2017 is I guess I allowed myself to learn a few things, and I talked about that, I guess, in my video last week too. But you know, I had very set ideas about certain things and certain people, and when I was confronted with the fact that what I believed about them wasn't true, I was able to say, okay, I guess I was wrong. Even though I was so very certain that I knew what that person was thinking or why they were doing what they were doing, I have no idea because I am not them. True story. But I didn't really beat myself up over that so much as I might have in the past. The other thing I'm proud of, and it's funny because now I do this all the time because when you live with someone you sort of have to, but I was dating someone last year, and he had done something that was irritating me, and it was such a big deal to me that I actually told him he was irritating the fuck out of me. I had never, at 50 years old, I had never in my life done that before. I had never, not to anybody, but to a man who was important to me, I had never said, what you're doing is bothering me, and this is why. I had always held it in and sucked it up and tried to be, you know, all things to all people and act like everything was okay. And that was a huge moment for me to actually be able to know what I was feeling, to communicate about it, not in a pissy way. I mean, I was a little pissy, but just like, you know what, here's the deal. This is why this is what I'm feeling, this is why I'm feeling it. Do what you want with that, but that's where I am right now. Now, because I'm living with someone, I do that a lot, and I'm much more comfortable doing it than I was before. That was a big, huge thing that I am proud of, is that I started to learn who I was and what I wanted, and learn that it was okay to say that somebody was doing something that was displeasing to you. And in the past, my feeling about that was that always they would disappear if I did that. Well, and when I said it to Neil, my thought was he's probably going to disappear because I'm saying this because I have never made a single wave. And, you know, honestly, he did. It wasn't directly related to that, but it wasn't long after that. But my thought when I did it was, I don't care. I would rather say, if I can't say what I need to say to someone that I'm in a relationship with, then what good is it? I'm not in a relationship. They're in a relationship with a, you know, fallacy, because I'm not really being true to who I am. So I did that. And the other thing was, I followed my heart, and I showed up for people in a big way. I showed up for my dad, I showed up for Brian, and you know, I really didn't get a lot of backlash from people about going to New Hampshire when Brian was in the hospital, but I thought I was going to, and it probably wasn't a popular decision, and people probably kept it to themselves, but it was the right thing to do for me. It was the right thing for me to do, and I followed my heart, and I did what I thought was right, and I do not regret it for one single second. Yeah, so those are some of the things that I'm proud about that I did in 2017 that don't really have to do with my weight or how I look. How about you? What are you proud of? Naked Truth this week. Foodie Turned Sleevey is going to be on that Sunday at 5 o'clock Pacific. I hope you guys will tune in. It's been a while since we've done one. I'm going to get back to doing it at least once a month. I also want to, the shows with professionals seem to be really popular with bariatric surgeons, with Diana Vogel, who I'll reach out to. But if you guys have professionals, bariatric professionals, or psychologists, or people who you feel like would have something to contribute to the conversation, please let me know. You can post it below in the comments or message me. If you haven't checked out my website, Very Badass, B-A-R-I, badass.com, check it out. There's some cool products there, and I hopefully I'm gonna get off my ass and talk to Courtney this week and see if we can't launch something else for 2018, and I might have something to say about that on The Naked Truth or in my video update next week. And one of the things that I will leave you with, one other thing. So there's been this thing going around on Instagram where people in their stories are shouting out their weight loss surgery inspirations, and I think the way it works is that if you want somebody to shout you out, you send them a heart or a note or whatever. And I've gone through most of the people who did that, not everybody. But I'm also going to do it for people who just generally inspire me. I'm not going to wait for you to tell me that it's okay, but if you think that I would shout you out in an Insta story and you don't want to be shouted out in an Insta story, please tell me, so I won't do that. But the funniest thing happened. I was scrolling through Insta stories, and Pamela, what is her thing? Saggy artist, Saggy Pants I don't know, I can't keep track of everybody's names, but anyway, she had done one about me, and I clicked to the next thing, and there was one about Dale Cooper, and it was a picture of Dale Cooper, and it was like, because Dale Cooper, and I love that. I thought that was super awesome. I showed it to Brian and my mom, and they both thought that was very funny. But so if you think I might shout you out and you don't want to be shouted out for whatever reason, tell me, and I won't shout you out. But I'm going to do that throughout the rest of this month. I really like it, just a couple a day, and it reminds me of all the people out there who lift me up and support me, and who I've learned from and have guided me through this process. But the other thing I will leave you with is I've been thinking about what are the feelings that I want in my life. What am I trying to create, and how do I get that? Because I think ultimately what we're always going for is a feeling. It's like if we want to lose weight, it's because we think that losing weight is going to make us feel more secure or confident or loved. And if we feel like we need to have more money, it's because having more money is going to make us feel more secure or free or whatever. So I've just been playing around with what are those feelings I want and how can I create them in my life every day, whether I have or I don't yet have those things that are flowing to me. And so these are the things, first of all, okay, let me do this real quick. This is long. So the things that I'm working on bringing more into my life, the feelings that I want to have in my life are joy and freedom and security and love and appreciation, and yeah, those are the things, and beauty. Those are the things that I like to have in my life. And I also picked a word for this year that I'm going to do in my new bulletin board that I haven't put together yet because my printer's not working. My word for 2018 is easy. I just feel like this is going to be an easy year, and all the things that I want are going to flow my way, and I'm going to work to make that happen, but it's all going to come together easily and effortlessly. So, yeah, that's what I got going on, you guys. I